Hey guys, President of XP Realty, part of the Johnson Group here in beautiful Savannah, Georgia, with my buddy Brandon Giebler from Next Move Realty. What's up, buddy? How you doing?
Well, yes, I'm a real estate agent, not a professional cheerleading coach. I'm doing all right. How are you? Cold.
Doing good. It is cold out there. It is quite cold right now. As a matter of fact, I think it's in the 34 or something like that.
It's miserable.
Feel like I'm in Indiana again. I mean, geez, we need to stop with this all this
with wet air, even better.
Yeah, it's quite chilly. But thank you guys for watching today. I really appreciate it. Today we're going to be talking about HOAs and what happens if you go bankrupt. Also, some nightmarish style stories that you don't want to miss. Oh no, I'm going to be going over this article. When your HOA says it's gone bankrupt, where does that leave you? Brandon, where does that leave you, buddy?
I mean, it could leave you in all sorts of funky situations that you don't want to be in. But that's why you should be on top of it. You should be attending and being involved. It's important.
Definitely. And we got Savannah's favorite food enthusiast on board today. Thank you, Tony, for joining. It's a brick. I don't know what that means, but okay. It's a brick. I can think
it's a brick house.
Oh, that's a good one. I don't know.
It might be. It just sounds like something Tony would do or say.
He likes his musical references. I do know that. Thank you for joining, Tony. I really appreciate it and commenting. And if you guys are watching, just hit that like button, share with your friends, family, and might want to know what's going on with HOA. I think for me specifically, Rice Hope is getting close to transferring from the developer to an HOA here. So it's getting that time, and Tony says it's a term. That's a term from the North, meaning it's really cold. Okay, all right, I got you. Thank you for culturalizing us. Thank you, I appreciate it. It's good. All right, so let's talk about this. Are you ready, buddy?
I'm ready, Brick.
All right, let's do it.
Okay, so we're going to talk about HOAs, bankruptcies, and what it means for you as the homeowner that pays into that HOA every month or buy-in, whatever. They're all different. Most of them are monthly. So we're going to go over, hey y'all, hey girl. So we're going to go over a Realtor.com.
Hello, y'all.
We're going to go over a Realtor.com article that was just released 3 days ago. Plus give you a real life world case study from Colorado, which you're going to want to watch that. You're going to want to.
That's not that from that far ago. I think this is happening very recent. I think 3 months ago is when the story was. So it's really, really recent.
Yeah. So and keep in mind, this is just to be educational. So you're aware whenever you're looking to buy a home and an HOA is involved. So not to be an alarmist, not to be crazy, but just to make you aware.
Okay. But it might be alarming.
But it probably will.
If you stay till the end, you will definitely be alarmed. But
I love your case study too, girl.
All right. So the big question everyone asks is, if my HOA goes bankrupt, can I still live in my home? The short answer is yes. The long answer is depends on the type of bankruptcy. The details matter more than the headline. And we're going to be talking about the different types of bankruptcies that HOAs can go through and what it kind of means for them. So we're going to come up on that soon.
We're going to come up on that soon. So what does it mean when an HOA goes bankrupt? So that obviously means that they can't fulfill their financial obligations that they put themselves on. And the HOA is a corporation instead of an individual person. And then the bankruptcy doesn't erase your responsibilities. It just puts them back on you. More so, the responsibilities shift to you guessed it, homeowner. So thank your HOA if they put you in this situation, but shame on you for not being on top of it.
And we're talking about ways to do that, right?
Yeah. And it has because the HOA still has to operate, but the homeowners usually shoulder the higher cost of that. So we're going to get into that though.
All right. Why HOAs end up here? The most common reasons HOA fail financially: major unexpected repairs, deferred maintenance catching up, legal disputes or lawsuits, which we are going to definitely get into, natural disasters like hurricanes around here. I could just imagine, right? A major expense, for instance, like say, for instance, I mean, I don't know that a tree or someone jumped the curb and landed their car in the pool.
Did you say jerk
Right.
the curb?
Jumped the curb
Oh,
and landed their car in the pool. That would be like a major unexpected repair, or hit the clubhouse or something like that, or the deferred maintenance. Sometimes I see in this area where we got like the bee, like stuff like rotting and stuff, and they don't fix it. Okay, legal speech. I said we're going to go more depth about that, and then inadequate reserve funding. The thing is like HOAs, when they're managed by the neighborhood, there's not going to be a ton of financial reserves in the bank to cover like a hurricane coming in destroying stuff. So these things could cause those types of problems.
right. Hello, everyone. Prep, Prosper Property Solutions.
All right. Hey, welcome.
Welcome,
Yeah.
welcome to the family.
Hey, if you guys have like some, experiences that you have about HOAs and anything on this, please put in the post. Give us some insight. We would love to have it. Thank you.
Yeah, because I've never went through it because I refuse. No HOA here. So, so there's 3 types of bankruptcies. So you got the Chapter 7, which is the liquidation, it's super rare. So it's a total financial shutdown. So everything gets sold, all the debts get wiped, but it's very, very rare that the HOA or the homeowners, they want to deal with all that. That would be stupid. You got the Chapter 11, which is more of a restructuring, which is a lot more common. So it's your debts are reorganized, but under the court supervision. So you earn the right to be micromanaged, is what I would say. So it's not good. And then you have the Chapter 13, which is kind of good in a way for the people that are dealing with what's happening because of the HOA, because it stops the foreclosures and gives the homeowner time to catch up. So that's a upside to the Chapter 13. They usually do like a repayment plan for like 3 to 5 years, so that's helpful. But nobody wants a bankruptcy, period.
No one's cheering for bankruptcies.
No.
Tony said the bathroom is still locked to Rice Hope in Parkside. Let's see. I'm just playing. All right. Let's talk about Chapter 7, liquidation, the nuclear option, if you will. The HOA decides, you know what, we got to go nuclear options. Sell all our stuff, the vehicles, the chairs, the umbrellas for the pools, maybe the nice tables as well, to kind of erase the debt. Not very rarely used. You're not going to HOA bankruptcy if you only owe enough where chairs and tables are going to fix the problem. So it's, what I'm saying? So this is not very likely.
Thank God. So this one, Chapter 11, is the most common one. So this is more of a restructuring instead of a shutdown, because the HOA still has to, continue operating on its day-to-day things that it has to do to make sure that you're happy and taken care of in the community. But the assessments will still be collected because they're not going to skip out on any money that they can come into while they're, going into bankruptcy. And then the debts are reorganized under the court supervision, which, again, the right to be micromanaged. If you can't handle your debts, then the court will help you do that. And then the special assessments will happen.
Most likely happen.
You got to offset the cost somewhere, and it's definitely not coming from them.
If you live in an HOA, put it in the comments. Say, I live in an HOA, please.
And which one? What do you like about it, or what you hate about it?
Oh, there we go. All right. Chapter 13, breathing room, temporary relief. This is used for major judgments or sudden expenses. That's what I was talking about. Like for, if the car runs into the pool, explodes and goes on fire and destroys everything. That's what this is made for. So that the HOA can reorganize the debts with the lenders and all that kind of stuff, and it keeps essential services running.
Oh. Just keep running. So swimming.
Okay. Hello, y'all lives in Rice Hope.
Rice Hope. What a beautiful neighborhood that
Love
is.
it. Yeah.
Who do you know that lives there? Rice Hope resident, love it here. Great pool. New pickleball court.
That's
Ooh,
right. The new pickleball court out there getting our sweat on.
I would almost pay to watch that. To watch Tony run up and down a pickleball court.
Not
So
much running. That's the good thing about pickleball.
right, makes sense. That's why I like to play it now. So how this hits the homeowners. So the bankruptcy affects you directly. Don't think it's just the HOA that's going to suffer. It's going to be you too. So a lot of the financial responsibilities fall on the homeowners that are paying into this HOA every month. Special assessments are most likely. So again, they got to offset their costs. So they're probably going to charge you more, but then give you less amenities or
Just
not
until it's resolved, right?
amenities. Yeah, exactly. And then selling your home becomes more difficult, which we're going to get into on that one too. Because who wants to deal with that?
Right.
Move into my HOA that is not functional.
Selling during the HOA bankruptcy. Why selling can be hard or impossible. Listen, bankruptcy's got to be any litigation that's going on in your neighborhood has got to be disclosed. I'm going to show you this real quick. Hold on. Here we go. This is called the Community Association Disclosure. On here, it's going to talk about the HOA, who to contact, all this stuff. But one of the parts they're talking about is down here during litigation. Is there any litigation going on? Now, if there is litigation going on and the lender sees it, they're going to be like, no, we ain't trying to deal with that. I'm not going to give you $350, $400, $450, $500,000 if you guys are going through litigation. No, that's not going to happen.
Bro. Hard pass, bro. Hard pass.
And of course, the buyers are going to be like, nah, I ain't trying to do that. I'm going to go to a different neighborhood that maybe has better HOA presidents or something. I don't know.
Right. People who actually know how to operate correctly.
Right.
As they take your money. So we're going to jump into a little bit of theory versus reality kind of thing. So we've talked about how the HOA can go bankrupt in theory. So now we're going to take a look at a real case study where litigation, not maintenance, pushed the HOA into Chapter 11. This was weird. Yeah. This is so weird.
How lawsuits, not landscaping, can bankrupt your HOA. And I just want to tell you, I need you to watch this, because if you live in an HOA or you're about to be, how you say, you're going to be taking over an HOA as a neighborhood, you need to watch this, because this is massive how it could affect you. Hello, y'all says, people really need to know this. I've seen the word lawsuit thrown around here, and clear folks don't understand how any of this works. And that's what I'm saying. So watch this and you'll understand what lawsuits can do to an HOA.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
So we're going to
watch it after this. Sorry, we're going to talk. Yeah. We're going to tell you about it first.
Yeah. This is a case study from Todd Creek Farms in Colorado. So this is a HOA community with 370 homes in it. That's at least 370 people, probably times 2, affected by this, that had to file for a Chapter 11. The years of lawsuits over alleged board misconduct. Wow. Good job. Well, never mind. They didn't elect him. Never mind.
Right.
Claims of undisclosed conflict of interest. The HOA spent over $800,000 in legal fees. Where did that come from? And then the bankruptcy also may halt the lawsuit, which is, could be good for someone.
Well, let's check it out. You ready?
I'm ready.
Oh my God. Remaining board members actually appointed them to each other's terms. And so that effectively extended the board president's term by 2 years and allowed him to avoid an election with the HOA.
Homeowners claim the HOA board president, Jason Pardykes, also had connections to Method Landscaping Services that were not publicly disclosed. The lawsuit alleges he was benefiting financially from using them as the community's contracted landscaping service.
I felt there were things going on that weren't right.
Meanwhile, Pardykes shared multiple independent audited financial reports from 2020 to 2024 with CBS Colorado. He claims the documents show no abnormalities or evidence of financial misconduct. And in his affidavit, the principal for Method Landscaping claimed at no point has Pardykes been a member, director, or otherwise received or been entitled to any benefit from the company's business with the HOA.
You cannot have an undisclosed connection to a company that your company is contracting with. You cannot benefit from a third-party contract.
Just last month, Tausiki says they were getting close to retrieving bank records that the homeowners believe could confirm a connection. And then,
so on July 15th in the morning, we get notice that the HOA filed a petition for bankruptcy.
The HOA board sent several emails to residents in the Todd Creek Farms community, explaining their reasoning for filing for Chapter 11 bankruptcy, saying it was a, quote, strategic move designed to end the lawsuit and to, quote, stop the financial drain. Since 2023, the HOA board says this lawsuit has cost more than $800,000 in legal defense fees.
I think a lot of those fees probably came at like some samurai training for that guy. Thank God they let samurais hold like legal license to become lawyers. But no, I mean, yeah. So to kind of, what happened is, I think what wasn't covered, there was a 5-person board. The president and one of the other members dropped out. Okay. And so the 3 remaining members like, let me just make you president and we'll be board members and, all that good stuff. You know what I'm saying? So,
Tommy, it was a fancy bun, not ponytail. Hi, Tommy.
What's up, Tommy? How you doing? Fancy
wrap up.
Yeah. So why the HOA bankruptcy matters? Not caused by infrastructure failure. Litigation alone can drain the HOA, and bankruptcy can pause lawsuits and accountability. But here's the thing, like I was trying to say, we have issues with the board, right? Or with the HOA. If we just start suing them to try to get information, you could cause yourself harm, right? So we got to be really due diligent. We got to, be at those meetings. We're going to talk about all that stuff, what you need to do to protect yourself. But there's like a fine line. What do we do? Now, in this case, was the guy grifting off of the HOA, Brandon, do you think?
I kind of think so.
Yeah, I mean, what do you guys think in the comments? Tell me, do you think this guy used his position as a unelected president to, get a contract with the HOA, which would be dastardly, wouldn't it?
I mean, if he went to this point to where this is happening, I don't think there's a good judgment skill there for that one.
Tell me in the comments, do you think he just spent $800,000 of the HOA's money to hide his connection to the thing? Comment down below.
He paid a secretary to type up documents that wouldn't get him in trouble.
Okay, y'all says, or hello, y'all says, maybe it's possible. I don't know. I mean, we don't know. That's the question. You know what I'm saying?
So the real question is what the fight is really about. So homeowners say that bankruptcies avoids accountability from what this video was talking about, which when you file the bankruptcy, it has a kind of it's called a stay, stop, everything kind of thing. So the HOA, when it files for bankruptcy, the automatic stay goes into effect. So the lawsuits, the collections, the audits, the foreclosures, the enforcement actions are all paused. So homeowners cannot continue legal actions without the court's permission. So yikes. So this immediately shields the HOA and its board from the active legal pressures. Good job, you sneaky little slime ball. The HOA board says that bankruptcy protects the community, which I guess in a way it kind of helps them a little bit.
Well, it stops with the legal fees. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, like if you don't have any more money it could stop the legal fees. I think that's what he's trying to say.
Yeah, for sure. So the bankruptcy can protect an HOA by pausing the lawsuits and everything. So that's definitely a positive for them, but still screws you guys up as the homeowners. But it also limits the accountability and keeps the same leadership and power. So I don't see how that's doing like the best thing for them, but it's saving whoever started this problems. Yeah, that's for sure. So, but it pushes the financial burden on the homeowners. So it's messed up. It's really, whoever thinks like that, you're an a-hole. But the court must decide if the filing was legitimate or in bad faith. So are you doing it for the right reason, or are you trying to save yourself from
Well,
going to jail?
it might be for both reasons. So,
A little bit of both.
hello, y'all. Hello, y'all says people have done such things for sure.
It's really sad that people think like that.
What this means for buyers and homeowners. Ask about litigation history. Like I said, it has to be disclosed to you when you're buying a home. Read meeting minutes, not just budgets. Low dues can hide a big risk, and transparency matters as much as reserves. Yes, I think had they actually had an election for the HOA board president, then we probably wouldn't be in this pickle for Colorado. But you know what I'm saying? Like, I think the transparency is key when you're doing this stuff. And I think, in our neighborhood, especially right now, I think it's starting to get there, but I don't know that we're already there. But hello, y'all says, but it doesn't all of this mess push the cost into the homeowners. Yeah, that's exactly what we're saying.
Precisely.
So that's where suing could hurt you, help you. Like it's, I would think, that it's a saucy tomato. So when you were electing your your HOA president, you better make sure that dude's got the ability has their own money, or she has her own money. You know,
She
saying
got
they're
a
not
whole
out
house.
for
She got
anybody
a whole
else.
two
They're
jobs.
they got they're a honorable person, like, because I would tell you, and we're only show you one clip from the nightmare stuff, but there's HOA presidents out here just handing out fees like it's candy, like Pez dispensers, just shooting them out like thousands of dollars, just 10,000, like 30,000, like, oh my God, crazy.
One was for being rude to a board member. If you are rude to a board member, then your fine is $1,500. This dude had one. It was like, I think it was like $157,000 in fines.
Unbelievable.
What in the world? So what we're trying to tell you is, if you are in an HOA, like, I think it would behoove you to be up to date on like what's going on in the HOA, where are the funds going, so you're on top of these things, so you can kind of hopefully nip it in the butt before it gets to the bankruptcy phase. So
Right.
how, like, you're able to spot things before it surely hits the fan. You know what I mean? So a couple of ways to do that is by obviously attending your HOA meetings, and nobody wants to. I'm sure it's annoying. I don't want to do it, but you probably should, just because you're paying into it. It's important, so you want to know where your money's going, and you can review.
Well, not only that, Brandon, real quick, I don't want to interrupt you, but I was just trying to say, like, when you watch these videos, right?
Oh
There's
my
a
God.
shockingly amount of no regulation on HOAs in Georgia.
No,
Like, they just do whatever the hell they want. They're like, I want to hand out fees. I think it's crazy. And not only that, but the power that they have.
$2,000 fine.
$2,000, Brandon.
2,000. If you have a fine or accumulate fines up to $2,000 plus, they can foreclose on your house.
Put a lien on your house.
So you're going up there and you're paying your bills, you're paying your HOA fees, but you got a fine you didn't pay, and that crazy lady who's fining people crazy amounts, like they can come for your house at that point, and the sheriff will come to your door, and that's mind blowing to me, honestly. That
we need to change that.
Karen?
We need to change that.
There's a representative in Georgia that has 3 movements to change it right now. So hopefully that'll change a bit. So you are allowed to ask your HOA representative to review the financial records so you can actually see where your money's going. So if you don't understand it, that's fine. You can ask someone like us that understand that kind of stuff. But keep paying your assessments unless told otherwise, obviously. It's like when we have rentals, like if the person's like, my AC is not working or something, so I'm not paying my rent, it'd still behoove you to maybe give it to an attorney, get an attorney or something, and still pay it if you don't want to give it to that person. But at least you're staying on top of what you need to do, even though they're not doing what they need to do. So it's just continue paying it. You're already used to it. It's already there. Don't worry about it. Don't change that, because now shame on you. And in a litigation kind of thing, you don't want any shame on you. So also,
oh, go ahead. Sorry.
The vendor contracts, you can see who the vendors are that they're paying to come help the HOA, who's upkeeping with the lawns, who's servicing the pool, who's cleaning the gym. Nobody. We like sweat. So understanding those vendor contracts and who they are, who's getting paid to do the work here, because some canoodling could be happening. And then if anything, seek the professional help early. Like get in before the getting gets gone. So if anything, just kind of be on your P's and Q's if you live in an HOA, and kind of stay on top of things, and this won't happen, hopefully.
Well, I just want to catch up on the comments real quick. So, hello, y'all says, but doesn't it all the mess push the cost of the homeowners anyway? Tony says not fair. Hello, y'all said, so it's a 6-7. That's what the kids say. I don't even know what that means. Lord, I'd be fine. I think that's about if she was rude to one of them. Tony says, independent. Do you know what this means? Love it, Brandon. And then hello, y'all says, always pay your fees. Absolutely. You do not want to miss your fees. You're going to find out what happens when you don't pay your fees. I'm about to show you right now.
I'm about to show you right now.
You can be up to date on your mortgage.
Don't take your
never miss a
house.
loan payment and still lose your home to foreclosure by your HOA.
None of it makes any sense.
Each month, Karen Gibbons mailed a check for HOA dues on her Gwinnett County condo to the address provided in writing at closing. But she says she never knew when or if it would be cash.
Or it was just random. I mean, there'd be 2, 3, 4, 5 months go in between checks being cashed.
Then out of the blue, she was served with this, a notice of foreclosure by her HOA. With late fees and thousands of dollars in attorney fees, she owed more than $30,000. Did you even know you could be foreclosed on by an HOA?
No, never heard of it.
It's totally insane.
Totally insane.
Totally insane. I totally agree.
I had to keep her at the end because she was like totally insane.
So, hey, I would have, 30K, dude, for real. Here's the thing. If you guys haven't liked the video yet, please like the video. It really helps us out. I appreciate you guys commenting and all that stuff. I will tell you, like, this HOA thing is not, I think there, like you said, the Georgia people there's some state representatives that are trying to put stuff in the law so that it can't get crazy
From regulations.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they need some regulation on that. And I'm not always all about the regulation, because that's just one more step and that's one more fee and whatever. But when it comes to your homeowners association, I think it's really important.
Well, hey, Tony, it's a good question. He says, but why wasn't the money going into the HOA account? Here's the thing, and I want you guys to remember this, especially everybody in Rice Hope. Here's the thing. You'd be electing a person that lives in Rice Hope. Are they an accountant? Are they studious?
No, they're just bored.
Are they bored? Like, you don't know what the qualifications, how much passion do they have for the HOA? Like, there's a lot of factors going to it. Running the HOA is not just easy, it's just not just it's easy, right? Now you can get professional, companies to run it, but here's the thing. Those professional companies are going to do what the HOA says, right? So to the T. So if they say, oh, we're going to kick you out after $2,000, we're going to rack up these fines, and no one is intervening, like, say you have trouble, maybe you lost your job, you want to talk to somebody about, like, hey, give me a couple months, let me work this thing out, kind of situation. But these companies, they don't care.
No,
You know, they're getting paid to do one job and enforce.
and it's not in your
You know,
favor.
and it's not in your favor, and that's the thing. And Hello Y'all says, I've always known HOAs could do that. How people not know that? Yeah, the bigger question, and it's not easy at all, but people think it is. Exactly. So I mean, here's the one thing, like, but don't like. I just think this is something that a regulatory board has to have. We got to have somebody somewhere that can just oversee this crap. You can't just be like, oh, we signed it with HOA. I mean, Brandon, let me ask you a question. If you're, you sign a contract and then they're just hammering your people and there's no recourse. Like, if you were president, would you'd probably involve yourself, right?
I mean, I would be the most involved if I offered and said I want to be president, then I feel like I would need to do the most of the roles.
Right. Well, of course, you're a professional real estate agent, so that would be different. But most communities don't have professional. Well, probably they all have professional real estate agents, but they're not going to take up that mantle. I'm just saying, like, you just got to remember, it's regular people doing this. You know what I'm saying? So that's why it says be at the meetings, look at the minutes. You got some dude you don't even know might have a master's degree, but I've seen people get master's degrees online. They pay $25 and they get a certificate in the mail. Congratulations, you are a master recipient.
What?
Oh yeah, dude, man. In the Army, people would do that all the time just to get promoted. Yep, no, several, as a matter of fact. Yeah, because in the Army, education, when you get to a certain level, is paramount.
Yeah.
But what I'm trying to say is,
college and then join later. They come in higher.
Yes. Yeah. But what I'm trying to say is that you don't know who the hell you're turning it over to. So I mean, you just got this. It's just be careful. Try to, be involved. So I'm giving Tony some ideas. He wants to run the HOA for Rice Hope. Tony, I think you would be a perfect HOA president. You know what I'm saying?
The enthusiasm for sure.
Absolutely. Sure. I mean, it's in his name. He's an enthusiast. We'll make him not only Savannah's #1 food enthusiast, but HOA enthusiast as well.
Ooh, look at you. With your, what's that, dual enrollment or whatever, dual seal you're going for.
But I want to say, hey, guys, thank you so much for joining. If you guys have any comments about what you think we should cover, it'd be very helpful. We try to get a lot of good information out there. We're willing to do digging. You just give us the comments and we'll do it for you. But if you guys are watching, I really, really appreciate it. Brandon, thank you for coming on as always. You're awesome. So next week we got Sean Randeweiler coming on to talk about City of Port Wentworth. If you didn't know, there was a planning and zoning board meeting that was very, very lively tonight. And it's about data centers. So here's the thing. If you live in Port Wentworth, you need to go to the city council meeting at 7:00 on Thursday. No doubt, have to be there. They're going to be voting on an ordinance that is poorly written, that doesn't have any restraints on the data centers. It basically just says, here, and opens the goddamn door.
It's coming.
So if you want to help to either stop that or make sure they put the proper language in there, Thursday night, 7 p.m., be there, or I don't want to hear it.
Or be scared.
If you don't come, I don't want to hear your face on Facebook at all. I don't want to hear about it. So be there, be square. We're going to be talking about some data centers. Be there. All right, guys. I really appreciate you guys watching, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.
Good night.